The following is a fan-based discussion. All properties discussed are property of Toei Inc., Bandai, Hasbro, and Subaraya Productions. The pen is truly mightier than the sword. But
how long have you been holding that in?
But is it mightier than the Rider Kick? We are about to discuss that and speculate. Welcome back, everyone, to Rumorcast.
It's that time of year again. How long have you been holding that in?
Yesterday.
Okay. So, as everybody on Discord and Twitter has been asking us, we are doing a Rumorcast on the scans of Kamen Rider Saber. So essentially we have, and also the press conference has gone.
Yes,
has happened already.
That's why I'm glad we waited.
Yeah, that's exactly why we waited. Also because we only film on Saturdays, and this came out on Monday,
Wednesday.
Because fuck us.
I mean, that gave us plenty of time.
Yeah,
true.
Everybody else was like, "Let's go and talk about the scans."
Yeah, no, the scans were 5 days ago, so that was
the scans came before the press conference.
So, well, you want to start with the scans that were released?
No, we're going to talk about the plot.
Oh, I have not heard this.
Yes. Long ago, a sector...
Distant land.
Damn it. I was going to say it if you didn't.
Long ago...
Effectivura samurai warriors.
Okay.
All right.
I couldn't resist.
A sector swordman known as the Sword of Logos protected the Book of Ancients, a powerful tome of history that contains everything known to man. Myths, creatures, stories, science, technology, and the evolution of human civilization. However, thousands of years ago, a trader working for the Megiddo tried to steal it for himself. As a result, the book vanished and each of the pages scattered across the world. Fast forward to the present day, a young novelist, Toma Kamiyama, has been having dreams of another dimension where he witnessed swordsmen and monsters coming out of a storybook and a mysterious girl calling for help. Recalling the dream sends chills down his spine, not knowing anything at all. One day, a strange phenomenon occurred without notice. Part of the city has disappeared. As people's loved ones disappear one after another, it sends the entire nation into chaos. The vanished part of the city appeared in an alternate dimension called Wonderworld, an endless dimension as big pages from a book. The dimension is home to magical creatures that attack without hesitation, sending the people into fear and confusion. As Toma and Mei, his editor, are caught in this phenomenon, the attack reminds Toma of his dream as he is attacked by a mysterious monster. I will definitely bring the city back to the original world. As if responding to his very will, Toma harnesses the power of the red dragon as it merges into his body, turning him into the swordsman of fire. The battle between the real world and the wonder world has an ending, and only Toma can write it as the fate of the world falls into his hands. Alright.
I like it so far. That sounds like a pretty interesting setup.
It does. Jinx.
Let's talk about the suits.
I feel...
Is there anything else we want to talk about the plot before we move on?
I'm very interested in it, but a lot of it is tied into how I feel about the suits and the story overall. However, I do like the fact that we're starting off with faction against faction immediately. Mm-hmm. With, a traitor, with the Megiddo, and the Sword of Logos. I like the fact that
two ancient societies. I like that we, gather all the pages. We already have our fetch quest goal that eventually might morph into something different, as they are often prone to do. Gather the metals is eventually supplanted by something else. Mm-hmm. And we've got our main character. We've got his editor, who's probably going to serve as the audience perspective into what's going on, because they're going to be mostly the outside voice. What?
I have my issues with her already. But keep going.
No. What are your issues with her already?
Did you see the trailer for the actual show they released from the press conference?
No.
Let me guess. She went and he found that annoying.
She reminds me a lot of Akiko. That's not a good thing.
Well, I will hold my tongue because they fixed Lucky. They might be able to fix her.
But she also still reminds me of Akiko.
I know.
She's very loud. I would say here, if she was the girl from Ghost, perfect.
See, I don't really like the girl from Ghost.
But she was smart. She was useful.
I didn't say she was. It doesn't mean I like her.
I was just if she was like her, or I guess you really can't be like Izu, but still.
So she can have an annoying personality as long as she serves a purpose as a character?
I'd rather she just straight up not have an annoying personality because her whole thing seems to be comic relief.
Well, I'm just saying, what is the lesser of two evils? Being not annoying, but having no purpose. I know the worst one is being annoying and having no purpose, obviously. But if she's annoying and has a purpose, like the character Ghost, is that better than not annoying but no purpose?
I really don't know in this situation. I'd just rather not have her.
We'll have to see it. We'll have to see what the execution is.
Yeah, we will.
Anything else you want to bring up before we continue?
Yeah, she's like the one thing I saw her, and then I saw her reactions and stuff, and I'm just like...
Because we thought the same thing about Kira Major, and we don't hate Kira Major so far.
We didn't really think that much about Kira Major.
From the trailer, yes, we did.
We didn't really think that much about Kira Major.
Yes, we did.
What did we think about Kira Major?
We thought Kira May King was gonna be the new Lucky. We thought the what is it? The roll call was gonna be irritating because they're making the kanji of it or whatever.
I didn't think that was going to be irritating.
You thought it wasn't going to be...
I think he's speaking for himself.
Yeah.
Well, you told me it wasn't going to be every time.
And it's hilarious the way that they have done it, because they don't always pull it off, and it's great when they don't.
But anyway, I'm just saying we can't immediately write a character off based off trailer.
You should have said judge a book by its cover. How dare you miss the pun?
That's not a pun.
He's got a point.
That's just a saying.
But in this case, it is a pun.
It's not a pun.
It's not a pun.
But
it's a play on words. It's not a pun.
But it is in this case. The whole thing is surrounded by a book.
It's not how puns work, Marcus.
That's this case, where the whole thing is based on the book. But let's talk about the suits.
I feel targeted.
Of course.
I feel pandered to.
In the words of Yahtzee Croshaw, this is the good kind of panda, the one that gets bamboo and has sex once in a while.
That's the point.
I didn't say it doesn't. To explain my reasoning for this, except for the dragon aspect, because I prefer phoenixes. Don't at me. Actually, you know what? At me, go for it. Dragons are overrated. Overused.
But this is also more Japan.
I know.
Than China. Which they could actually get away with it because of the
Phoenixes.
Yeah.
Phoenixes are also really deep in Greek mythology as well, but that's
dragons are also in every culture, so
that's the point. But
OSP just put out a great trope.
I said overused, did I not? Anyway, Kamen Rider Blade seems to have every aspect that I adore, aesthetically speaking.
Blades. Well, actually, it's apparently Blaze or Blades. It depends on how they end up interpreting.
He's talking about the secondary rider.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's talking about Saber himself.
I'm talking about Saber himself. Because I'm talking about swords. My favorite type of weapon are swords and blades.
I mean, when you have the secondary rider called Blades, that's going to be...
You also have to remember that you had to tell me he was a secondary rider. Honest to God, thought that was another form for him.
Yeah, that's a secondary.
Anyway.
I think the best aesthetic decision for this, for Saber's suit is the dragon arm. Where the pauldron is the dragon, and then his arm is like the fire that it's breathing. I think that's such a cool choice.
It is such a cool choice.
That looks really cool.
But yeah, this suit has my favorite type of weapon. Has my three favorite colors being red, white, and black in that order.
Mm-hmm. We get the flames on the eyes,
and my favorite element is fire.
We got like the sword coming up in between the head.
I love the asymmetry.
The asymmetry. We got red on one side, red and black on the other, white down the center.
I like the fact that it looks like his form changes are going to be like W-esque, where only half of his body.
Yep.
W and build.
That's why the other's arm is blank.
So he gets a blue version.
Dragon Peter.
And then he gets the green and black.
Because his form changes come from books.
Yes.
Here's my question. Why is it called Peter Fantasia and not Peter Pan?
Copyright?
Peter Pan is public domain.
Is it?
Yes.
That makes sense. Sorry, with Disney, it's hard to keep track of what
Disney does not own Peter Pan.
He has a good point.
No, but Disney will do what they can.
No, they can't, because Peter Pan is... You can't do that version of that character, but you can make it... Nothing is stopping me from going out right now and making a Peter Pan movie. I'm
not referring to Peter Pan specifically. I'm referring to the practices of Disney and what they will do to keep things out of the public domain, like Mickey Mouse.
That's a different story. He's the face of the company.
Anyway.
The other one's Jack of the Beanstalk.
Oh, is it really? Makes sense.
Oh yeah, I can see it.
The beanstalk going around the blade on his head.
I swear to God, if they don't end up using the blade on his head as
an attack at some
I
point.
will be upset.
He said the same thing about the Yellow Ranger, Q Ranger,
and he did it.
And
I was like, yay!
So I have a question for you two. What is a fairy tale you'd like to see be made into a form?
I'm trying to think of fairy tales.
Fairy tale or story. Any kind of, like, classic novel.
Does this include, like, the Grimm stuff?
Sure.
Grim.
Yeah, sure.
Just to make sure I'm clear. The Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs would be interesting.
Oh, yeah, that finisher would be a pain.
Yeah.
I would love to see The Little Mermaid.
Yeah, I would too. I would love to see that.
His finisher turns him into coral.
The foam.
Into foam or whatever it is.
Turns the enemy into foam, or I don't know. What would be another example? Drowns him. I don't know.
What is it? The witch.
Hansel and Gretel.
Yes.
It just summons a giant oven. Just Ryder kicks him into that.
Sweeney Todd's him. Like, just love it.
Oh, what if Sweeney Todd is one of the forms?
I keep forgetting. Is Sweeney?
It's probably it's not. I'm just throwing stuff out there.
I'm gonna look stuff up because now you have me interested. Although this does.
It's also back to aesthetics. While he looks that up,
I would love to see one based on the Count of Monte Cristo.
That would be hilarious. Can we just have an entire form based on the Count of Monte Cristo?
That's what I was thinking. Like, if you had, like, a form based on that. And
like an entire writer.
If his sword switched to, like, fencing, rapier play, that sort of thing.
This does pretty much just get rid of a Sentai of fairy tales now. But now we basically have a Sentai and Kamen Rider.
Maybe we could still do it.
I mean, we have a Sentai in this show.
But, that doesn't stop a Sentai from being fairy tale themed. It would not be the first time Sentai and Kamen Rider have had the same motif.
They just have to wait a few years.
Yeah. Cops, ninjas, dinosaurs,
Neighbors.
But what I was going to bring up is that one of the scans, it looks like his rider kick, there is writing on the bottom of his foot.
Yep.
So I'm wondering if that's...
It's a cipher. So people have been translating it already.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
I'll show you the video after.
But I really like this form. The secondary rider, on the other hand,
Blades.
not a fan.
Is it Blaze or Blades?
Blades, because
that is a Z.
Yeah, they mistranslated it. It's Blades, like blade with an S.
Yes.
Because they have elements. So his is water. It can be Blades.
So fire,
either way,
water.
he has a tiger on his chest and it doesn't look
That's the problem. If it was on his arm, that'd be great.
But he has a tiger on his chest. It doesn't
Lion.
look great. Whatever. He has a cat on his chest.
I love the rest of the suit, but I really wish that lion was not on his chest.
If it should be on his other shoulder, like opposite of Saber.
Yeah.
I guess they want shoulders to just be Saber's thing.
Maybe.
Perhaps. Either way, I'd just rather it not be on the shoulder, on the chest. It makes his chest stick out too much. So I'm just not the biggest fan.
I guess the idea they wanted to make it like a coat of arms on the chest because some suits of armor have something emblazoned on the front.
I guess.
I just wish it was flat.
Yeah.
It would have made more sense if it was flat because you look at actual suits of armor with things engraved on their chest or
it's more two-dimensional.
It is more two-dimensional and it's not sticking out as much unless it's more decorative.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So is this the tertiary rider or is he an evil rider?
There are a lot of riders in the show.
Kamen Rider, Espada.
Yes.
Espada?
All of their names are based on various types of blades.
Saber, Blades, Espada.
Yeah.
Bleach. Sorry, Espada makes me think of Bleach, but for the same reason. It's just this.
Espada makes me think of the guy Raphael from Soul Calibur.
Ooh, yeah. He was a dick.
Well, yeah, he tried to kill everybody.
I mean, who didn't in that
Everyone
game?
did.
But to say, who doesn't in that game?
Ever play through arcade mode in Soul Calibur? You just murder 8 people and then say, nah, I don't think I want Soul Edge anymore.
Or Soul Calibur, whichever one. Or both, in some cases.
Yeah, Espada.
Spanish. Does he have a rapier?
I actually don't know what his weapon is. It hasn't been shown yet.
Fuck.
What is this form based on?
Electricity? I don't really know exactly what the...
It's not based on...
Aladdin.
Oh, okay.
So he's going to have some kind
a scimitar, maybe.
Yeah, something like that. That'd be cool.
Yeah. I love his suit.
And the scimitar makes me think of Youngsung from Soul Calibur.
Yes, it does. But again, I don't want, because of the fact that we can't see the front, please.
No.
Yeah, we don't need all this.
We don't, no genie's lamp. That
You
sticks
know
out of
who
his
the
chest.
guy
Please.
is. Apparently he's a friend of Toma's, who we haven't really talked about. I'll talk about him in a second.
Mm-hmm.
But he's a friend of Toma's, but he doesn't know. Apparently some form of amnesia.
Mm.
But I love the use of yellow and silver.
That is, they're...
Black, yellow, and silver.
And the band across the back. I don't know why, that's just so cool.
It's definitely going to be... The aesthetic, they are nailing the aesthetic.
They really are.
But here's the problem. No, the last time we were like, they're nailing the
It was
aesthetics.
Ghost.
No.
It was Build.
It was, the most recent time was Ryu Soldier.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't think they nailed him.
I was just referring to him and me. Remember that video? Ryu's so cool! And that show is so boring.
I was immediately not excited by that. So this is Kenzan.
At least I
dual
think
wielder.
I was. I don't remember. Anyway.
I guess dual blade, kind of like Zuko from Avatar.
He's wind.
Interesting. Definitely a dual wielding idea for Wind.
This
I
suit's
wonder
so
if his
cool.
sword is based on grass cutter.
This is Kenzan, which is late in Japanese.
Oh, so funny.
Nothing. I just thought of a weed whacker.
But I love this suit. I think it's so cool. Look how shiny it is in this one picture.
It has. Is that a scarf?
Yes, he's wind.
I know, but that's
Plus, you know, that was the thing that powered Ichigo and Nigo. So and V3.
Three. Who else do we have other than these four?
Caliber.
Ooh,
Who's the bad guy?
sad.
It's purple. He's supposed to be like the dark dragon. Although his visor reminds me of Tiger.
It does. His shoulder kind of reminds me of the Grim from Ruby. Or the Hollows from Bleach. But
He looks so cool, though.
you know who would love this one?
Who?
I was talking to Marcus. Because it's an achievement hunter thing.
Jeremy?
Yeah.
I'll just sit over here then.
Yeah.
Remy Tim.
It is purple and orange.
Anyway. Interesting that Caliber is the bad guy.
Well, he's Dark Dragon.
I'm not saying, but no, just the idea of that name being associated with.
Yeah, because Excalibur is always the good one.
Yeah. It's an interesting idea.
Well, it depends on what version of the story you're reading. Yeah, I mean, like the King Arthur myth and legend, there's so many different versions that, you know, Arthur wielding Excalibur sometimes, you know, like he starts off good, but then he has a downfall, and, you know, he could be a fallen knight.
Or he starts off good and he ends up in Fate Stay Night.
With boobs.
Or in Fate Prototype, where it's the actual male Arthur.
Anyway.
There are a lot of Fates.
Yeah.
There are too many
Yeah,
Fates.
yes, I know.
So,
But I like the way
is
he
it
looks.
just these 5 so far?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Although, in the actual... there are others. Specifically this guy. Don't know his name yet. They just have his Kamen Rider at the moment. Let's actually talk about Toma. He's older. Like, at least older than some of the last ones that we've had. He's 25.
He's not a teenager?
I know, it's weird. It's like the weirdest thing, but I love it.
Wow.
How old is Aruto again? How old is 01?
His actor is 18, but he's
I mean the character.
21.
Okay. Now this actor is 25?
Yeah.
Okay.
His actor's 25, and I believe the actual character is as well, because he's a novelist and a bookstore owner.
Fair enough. Yeah.
I like him already.
Yeah. I also... hat!
Yes, he wears a hat.
Love a hat! This is so long since you had one. In 10 years. It's been a whole decade at this point.
Wait, who was the last? Oh,
Shotaro.
Duh.
But I love it. I love a
Now
hat.
the question is, will he be as obsessed with the hat as Shotaro was?
Probably not. But I really just...
Because
Also...
he's screaming hipster right now. From that
He's
picture.
a novelist.
No.
But my
You don't have to
thing
be a hipster to be a novelist.
It was a joke.
But the thing is, and this is the thing that sort of bothered me with Naruto when we first met him in the trailer.
Aside from everything else.
But he got a lot better. I think, like, just based off of first impressions, I liked his voice. He has a deeper voice.
Good.
So it doesn't...
I'm getting Hibiki vibes.
Yeah.
And I like that.
Yeah. But it's just, it doesn't hit the ear like Naruto's does, because Naruto does have a little bit of a tin to his voice in some cases.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't.
One thing I don't know if we brought up in the early scans, it looks like his driver is activated by the sword, or
Yes.
is also the sheath.
Yes.
So that's going to be... it looks like he puts the book in the driver, sticks the sword in, and the book opens.
Mm-hmm. Well, no. When he takes it out, the book opens.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like the sword is already in the driver deactivated.
Yeah.
So he has to... Okay.
Darbeck on the Discord was talking about what if they made it the sheath on the side?
They could.
Yeah, it was...
One thing I want to point out about the driver, it's going to be voiced by Akio Otsuka, who was the voice of Bato from Ghost in the Shell. And that makes me happy.
I love Vato. He's the big guy.
I know who Bato is. I never watched the
Japanese version?
yeah. I always watch the dub, so that's...
You'll hear it.
Yes.
It's their own.
Yeah.
It's not that I chose to.
He was also the voice of Solid Snake, among other things.
It's not that I chose to only watch the dub. It's just that back then, when I watched Ghost in the Shell, that was the only anime available to me.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, the dub is good.
No, the dub's great. Especially the dub Bato's great. I fucking loved him.
But yeah, I like that immediate feeling that we got all of him. It was like, oh, your voice is like this. I feel better. Right, the people. We'll talk about that later. Rentaro, who's apparently our secondary. Interesting.
Of course, he's wearing blue.
Yeah, why wouldn't he be?
What is with... I don't understand that trope. Why do you have to...
To make them easily identifiable.
Plus, he's a part of this ancient organization. They're going to have a dress code.
That's fair. I'll give you that. But I was also just like referring to like... This seems to be a thing since I started watching Power Rangers. You must wear the color that your suit is.
Yeah, so you can remember who's who.
Yeah. To be fair and right, they don't always do that.
That's
How many
true.
times Nintendo change clothes? Every 5 seconds.
That's Tendo, though. He is an exception to a lot of rules. Your neighbors are awesome.
Yeah.
I'll give Naruto the credit of he doesn't wear it except his shoes.
And the jacket.
It's mainly the shoes.
Yeah.
Those are some bright shoes.
His face reminds me of Getty Violets.
I can kind of see that.
Yeah. It's like it has a similar facial structure.
His outfit reminds me of Spectre, which is not good.
No, you want to know who his outfit reminds me of? Magi Shine.
That is also fair.
Yeah. It reminds me a lot of Magi Shine. But yeah, we also have this lady, Sophia, who's like the head of the Sword organization.
Logos.
Yeah, Sword of Logos. We don't really have much on her. She speaks a little bit in the trailer, so.
Reminds me of Gaia from Captain Planet.
She reminds me of what's her face from Power Ranger.
I know he's talking about.
Yeah. I try to keep all of Power Ranger out of my head.
Don't blame you.
This is definitely going to be an interesting show, to say the least.
Yeah.
Depending on how this is executed.
The biggest problem is I'm not going to say the biggest problem, but the biggest worry is the fact that the writer's the same guy who did Ghost, but at the same time, he was not always there in Ghost. He was actually out a lot, and that's when a lot of the really why did this have to happen stuff happened. So we'll see how he goes when he's actually fully here this time. He said in an interview that he plans on being here a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just like, good. As long as you're there to really give structure and hopefully give much better characterization for these people, we're cool.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, but this show...
We also have Regio, Sutorius, and Zuos who work for Megiddo. So who knows? They're probably going to be writers at the end of this. I can picture some big writer battle happening at the end of the show. That'll be cool. I'm excited for that.
You mean like the one we were promised some guy and never got?
To be fair, that was alternate universe.
That is also true. But yeah, there's definitely some potential in this show. You've got faction against faction like we had in Gaim and a bit in 01, which was some of the best parts of those two shows. But then you have characters that could potentially be like Akuko from W, which was our least favorite part of W.
Akiko.
What did I say?
Akuko.
Oh. I meant to say Akiko.
We know.
I go through it so fast sometimes.
Yeah, she was the biggest issue that we had with that show. And I so worry about May because I don't want her to become WoW character number 4.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather just not have her become that. The voice is the thing. That's the thing that just worries me the most.
But we've said that about other characters that have turned out fine.
Yeah. Well, so we'll see how this goes. Let us know what you think about Saber in the comments below.
Right.
And don't forget to join us all the things.
Don't forget, we probably won't have another Rumorcast on this until it airs, right?
Yeah, because it's airing in a month.
Well, then it'll be first impression.
Yeah, then it'll just end up being first
Yeah,
impressions.
so the next thing
Oh! This show has an ending theme.
Oh, wow, is it the first time since Hibiki we've had one?
Yep.
Wow.
First time since Hibiki that we've actually had one.
I'm now just realizing this.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit.
They don't really do those, and I'm just like, I'm fine with them not doing
At least
them.
not for
Yeah.
Kamen Rider, they don't.
Although,
I preferred like just the little thing of showing off the collectible and then next time on Kamen Rider, blah blah blah.
yeah, that's the thing. I'm a little bit worried to see how this goes. I heard the song. It's not bad. They haven't actually shown off the OP yet, so we'll see.
I love how they released the ending theme and not the opening theme.
Hey, it's a little bit of suspense. Something to look forward to.
Or they know it's bad.
Oh, well, we'll hope not. Yeah.
But is it a dancing theme for the closing?
No.
You sure?
Yeah, I heard it.
Doesn't mean they can't dance to it.
No, I saw like the thing when the singer was there to sing it. Usually they'll have the people dancing in the background when they do that.
That's fair. But yeah, let us know what you think. And the next time you see us talk about it will be our first impressions. So
Yep.
like 2 months from now?
Month and a half.
3 weeks. So, month and 3 weeks.
Yeah.
But, as always, follow us on all the things. We'll see you guys next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye.